Yo, what's going on? It's Lewis here, and in this video, I just want to give a disclaimer. Firstly, this video is for me, okay? This is literally just to document my process of learning, or my progression of learning technical analysis, technical indicators, and how to trade cryptocurrencies. I thought that it would be a very cool idea to just plot down how I go about doing things, and I could talk things out in my head and also to the camera. And my hope is that eventually I will become really, really good at TA, and I could combine the fundamental analysis, which is what I did in this video with ADA. They're having a big announcement today, an update to the roadmap, with technical analysis, which is what I also did for, Cardano ADA. And I combine the two and then base my trades off of that. And what I'm doing is I'm getting I'm starting out with $100 and I'm just basing my trade off of, the TA or FA plus TA. And like I said, this is for me. These videos are absolutely ridiculous. I'm not the best trader, and obviously, it's not financial advice. I'm not telling you to do what I do. I do have my stop losses in place, and I'm not a financial advisor. So keep that in mind in case you do decide to watch this video. But yeah, I just thought I would say that. And also, if you happen to be a really good trader and you're watching this video, you can watch it, and I will take criticism, constructive criticism, very, very kindly. So you could let me know that below if you want to help me out with my TA. This is literally the first video in this series, so let's get to it. What's going on, guys? It's Lewis here with the Crypto Beginner, and in today's video, I'm going to be starting off my new series. It's called the $100 to $1,000 Trading Cryptocurrencies. Pretty much this series is going to be going over the fundamental and technical analysis of the trades that I am doing and why I am doing them. Pretty much I will be going over the TA, and FYI, I'm not a trader in the sense of a technical indicator trader. I have been a trader in terms of a fundamental or a buy the rumor, sell the news type of trader. And that's going to be the number one thing that I do regarding this entire series, regarding me, making my trades, is buying the rumor and selling the news. And if I get the TA to line up with some type of rumor, then that is going to confirm my decision, to make the trade so much more. And, there's a lot of reasons for that. I mean, if you just take the last week of it's April, the beginning of April 2018, so many things have happened that confirm that this buy the rumor, sell the news thing is so true. I mean, look at Verge, for instance. This is number one. Verge was saying that they had a huge announcement and a huge partnership coming. They said this a week or two ago, and what happened? They raised so much money and their price skyrocketed. And then, of course, what happened when the news came out, the actual news, the partnership needed to be delayed for a little bit, and the price plummeted. And now they're saying that they were hacked, and I don't know if this is an exit scam or what, but Verge is not looking good at the moment. However, if you would have gotten in when they gave that announcement, when that rumor came out, you would have been good. And the same thing happened for Tron. Tron was saying that they were having a mainnet coming out, and everything was going to be really good with that. And, it pumped hard. It pumped really, really hard on the rumors of their mainnet coming out. Same thing with certain coins being listed to Coinbase. And, it's just basically so many times there are pumps of coins that happen based off of speculation, because this is a very speculative market. So a good idea is to get in early when you hear the rumors. Some things that I really like are, if I hear that there's a fork going to be happening with one of the primary coins, that's a great time to get in. And obviously a really big partnership like what we saw with Verge, or a huge, milestone for the actual roadmap, like what we saw with Tron with their mainnet and everything like that. So I'm going to put those together. along with the technical analysis that I will be doing in the series, which you're going to see right now, and hopefully, be very profitable with the trades that I make. So let's just get into it. This is the first trade. This is the very first trade that I'm making. It is with Cardano, ADA. And I'm gonna go through the technical analysis. Like I said, I'm not a trader. I'm just gonna literally go through this. If you're a really good trader, then you can tell me, am I doing good or am I not? Also, the thing is, with TradingView, this is really, really cool. I've been always using Coinergy, but with TradingView, you could actually make your trades, make your calls, and then you could go back to that call and you could press the play button and you could actually see what happened and if your call was correct. In fact, I'll just go do that right now just to show you what that looks like before I get into my ADA. So here is, say, Dark Energy. He's the #1 trader on TradingView. And if you look back to say, here's one that happened a couple days ago. So if you press this bar right now, this is what happened. So he was saying that it was going to go all the way down here, before like reversing up. And I guess you could say like that sort of happened, but it's just a cool thing to do. It's just a cool thing that happens when you actually use TradingView. So I'm going to start using TradingView a lot more. Okay, actually I found an even better description of what I'm talking about right here. So this was from March 24th. And you could see, he wrote out, he did his TA, and then he said, if it goes up, it'll go from here to here to here to here to here, and it'll go up. And if it breaks it, then it'll go down, down, down. So let's see what happened. You click this bar, and it went down. So I'm going to start doing that. So if we click chart right here, then we can go to ADA, BTC on Binance. And this is going to be my first technical analysis video of me doing technical analysis. So let's see what happens. So this is how I like to do it. I'm basically going to go through it on here, and then I'm going to continue doing this with more coins as I make more trades. So the very first thing that I like to do with technical analysis is look at the monthly charts, okay? I'll look at the monthly charts and see, is there enough data for me to actually plot a trend line or a support and resistance lines. I guess with this, really, there is some resistance. You could plot one right here, but I'm not going to do that because we're all the way down here and there's no way in hell it's going to come all the way up here. So I'm going to wait on that one a little bit. In fact, there's not really enough data on the monthly charts for ADA. So I'm going to go down to the weekly charts. Now, what do I see on the weekly charts? I see good support. I see good support right here. So that's what I'll do first. And it's pretty close to here. Plus this line right here, I can't put my mouse right over it because then the crosshairs cover it. But the line on this green candlestick is, falls on that support as well. So what I'll do is I'll go over here and I'll take a horizontal line and I'll bring it down right to where that support is, on the weekly level. Because, yeah, you could say, well, actually, no, you can't really say there's really support anywhere underneath there. And I like to color it purple because I feel like if it falls underneath this support, then it will just really, really tank and it'll go all the way down to here. This is the next line, but I don't see that happening. So I'm going to leave this here. And as for the resistance, I don't really see much resistance on the weekly level. Maybe this right here, because it has this right here and this right here. This could be a resistance level, but I'm going to just keep this on the support and on the weekly, and then I'm going to go into the daily because I like to. This is called, by the way, this is called a top-down approach or a top-down time frame analysis. And this is where you go from the monthly or the weekly if there's not enough data, and then you go down to the daily or the 3-day, and then you go down to the 4-hour or 12-hour, and you just keep on going down and down and down and down until you get really pinpoint accuracy with your with your trades. So this is the weekly chart. I have my support right here, and let's see if I also like to do a trend line. So what I'll do is I'll do an arrow, okay? and I will find a good trend that we're in. So it looks like this is a pretty solid trend that we're in right now. It looks like we just broke it. And you could see, like, the reason I'm doing this right here is because we have a touch. It touches it right here, touches it right here, touches it right here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, almost 5. And then 6 right here. It broke through a little bit, but it closed on it. So that's like pretty good. That's pretty good confirmation. So this is the weekly chart that I'm using for ADA. Now let's go down into the daily chart. And then what I like to do is I go down into the daily chart and sort of just, confirm the lines that I have. And I mean, this is pretty good confirmation right here. It almost touches it right here. So that's like 1, 2, 3 for the support. And it's pretty much, I mean, you could say it's bounced off of it. Maybe it'll bounce off it again. I don't know. We'll see about that. What about this line that I drew over here? Well, look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe if I bring it up, it'll be a little bit better. Yeah, see, now it gets the wicks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And 7, and then it closed right here, and now it broke it. So now this is pretty cool. You could see that this line, this trend line, this downward trend that it kept on like hitting, now it's hitting it, but now it's a support instead it used to be a resistance. Like all of these lines are resistance right here, 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 and here, but now it's bouncing off of it as support. So that makes this pretty cool. So now it might be actually in an uptrend. And that's because every time, or not every time, but usually when resistance, whether it be like from a trend line or from a horizontal perspective, when resistance is broken, it becomes support. So let's see if there is another horizontal line that I could draw on the daily chart. Well, I could see one right away. So let's take this and we'll put the horizontal line tool and we'll go right here. Look at this. 1, it closed right here on this day. It closed right here on this day. It closed right here on this day. And it closed right here. That's 4 days in a row that it was range bound. So that I feel is going to be a pretty big resistance level. So I'm going to put this right here and I'll put this color at yellow, because this is going to be the first thing, the first level of resistance that we hit. And then the next one that I see is up here. And so I'm going to plot that, and that will be boom. And I'll put this as green because it's like if it falls below here, it's not good. This is a good first target that maybe I'll look at. I'll have to confirm it with the fib, and then this is a good second target because it might not, come back up to here, or it might not surpass this level, because you could see 1, 2, 3, 4 closes, and it had a wick, 2 wicks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times it stayed at this area. So I mean, this is a good area to draw this horizontal line for either support or resistance. It was support right here, but it broke, it broke down. It fell below it. So now when it comes back up, it'll probably be a resistance level. Okay, so now that I have the trend lines and the support and the target zones on, what I like to do is go and do the Fibonacci retracement. So I'll start off on the 1 week, and this, I saw something. It was pretty cool if you ask me. So if you take the fib, and that's just by going right up here and then going down to Fibonacci retracement, right? So if you take that and you go from the lowest point that it was at in the beginning, and then you go to the highest point that it was at, look at where it lines up directly on the 786, on the 78.6 level. This is where we had that bounce off of on the weekly scale. I mean, that is so cool. And you know what? I'm going to really start respecting the fib levels, because it's just in my nature. I respect things that are in nature and, Mother Nature. And I think that there is something to these fib levels. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to correlate my support and resistance lines, because these are zones, these areas that I drew out before, my target zones, and I'm going to have them match up to the overall Fibonacci, because this one lines up so perfectly. So why wouldn't the other ones? So what I'll do is I'll raise this one up, because remember before I was using this level, like right here and right here, and right here. But if I raise it up to where the 618 is, then I have right here, and right here. So I still have 3 points of contact, which is really cool. It's just now it's just respecting the Fibonacci a little bit more, or a lot more. And then for the for this support level, I had it right here because it bounced off right here and it bounced off right here. But if I raise it up, then if it's right here, it'll respect the 50. 50 is not really actually Fibonacci, but people, they use it, so I'm gonna use it. And that bounced off right here, and it bounced off right here, and it bounced off right here. So now I feel like these levels are just respecting the Fibonacci even more. So now that we have that on the weekly, now I'll go back, I'll go down into the daily, right? Okay, so on the daily, you could see that these levels are like really respected. So what I want to do is go down now and find a level that is, closely or also actually, respected in regards to the Fibonacci. So if I start off at the highest and then I come down to the lowest, I'll try to, match these up a little bit to where it makes sense. And I mean, to me, and TA is up to everyone's own individual interpretation. But if I do this like right here and I see what's going on, you could see, I mean, look at, if I plot the zones, the rectangle zones, right here is the 23.6. And look at how many times it's been touching this level right here, this 23.6 level. So that's 1, and then it bounced through a little bit, but it stayed right here on it. That's 2, and then that's 3, and then that's 4, and then that's 5. So this, and then also the 0.5, the 50%, is lined up pretty well with this yellow, this yellow target right here. So I feel like this is a pretty good fib. Like I said before, I'm not a technical analysis trader, but I'm going to be working my way into this. So what I'll do now is I'll basically adjust my targets to these levels because I really like the fib. So if I had, drawn this out previously and I drew it from here to here, and then I saw it, spike up and I saw it go down again, I would probably have like one target level be right here, and then another target level be right here, and then another target level be right here. So I think what is going to happen is it's going to spike back up, and I think it's going to cross over the 236. I think it's going to go right here, and this could be target number 1. But I see a lot, or at least a little bit more confluence right here at the 50-day. So I feel like this is a pretty solid area to start taking, profits number 1, or at least once it reaches this area, what I'll do is I will set my stop limit up from, down here where I originally posted my stop limit. And I'll just raise my stop limit up a little bit to maybe like here, or maybe break even. And then what I'll do is I will ride that out until I get to this level. So we'll see if it could, we'll see if it could actually, I think it'll go down a little bit and then bounce up to here. I don't know if it'll break this level or not. If it does, that would be pretty awesome. Or it'll keep on going up to here. Okay, so now I have my zones. What I like to do is do some more indicators just to give me a better idea of like, is this really a good idea to do the trade? So what I do is moving averages. This will be the first thing. So I'll go on to 3 different moving averages, and here they are. The first one, what I'll do, the first moving average that I will put down is the 8, and I will color, excuse me, I'll put the 18 first, and I will color that red. So I have the 18, and then the next one I will put the 8, and I will color that yellow, and click OK. And then the third moving average, if I could find, here it is, I'll put the 21, and I will color that green. Okay, so you could see this is the 8-day moving average. It's been well below all of these, so it's been a very big downtrend for a really long time now. This is like a bear trend, and it's just you know, went on top of the 18 and the 21. So that is a good sign that things are looking good for ADA, at least like in the short term. And I don't know, this is sort of like a new strategy that I just learned when it comes to moving averages. A lot of times what I'll do is I will use the 50-day, the 100-day, and the 200-day. So let's see if we actually, you know, if we do that. This is the 50-day, and then we'll put the red as the 100-day, and then we'll put the green as the 200-day, and see where these lie. See, oh, there's not even enough data for these things. What about on the hourly? See, on the hourly, okay, on the hourly, it's hitting the 200 hour mark. It's bouncing off of that a lot of times. So I don't think it's going to go underneath the 200 hour. And then I feel like it will, you know, rise above the 50 and the 100 fairly soon. So you could see on the hourly chart, the 200, this is the 200, yeah, the 200, it's been bouncing off the 200 a lot. So there's a lot of support there. Plus the 50-day, the yellow right here, when the 50-day crosses on top, that's a good sign. That's a bullish sign. So it crossed on top back here, and then it crossed on top right here, and it's still on top. So, I mean, that looks pretty bullish to me, using both the, you know, 50, 100, 200-day moving averages along with the 18, 8, or the 8, 18, and 21. Okay, and then I also do like to use some other indicators like the MACD and the RSI, because it's nice to get a few different strategies going down. Okay, so the MACD, you could see the MACD it is on top. Okay, the MACD is on top. That's this like jaggedy blue line right here. When the MACD crosses over, that's actually like a good sign to start buying. So this is on top, so that's good. And then this right here, this is an M. That's not that good, but usually this is the sign that most people go off of, is if it's on top, if it crossed over. So the MACD is sort of like a wash, because this the MACD crosses over, which is a good crossed over, which is a good sign. But this is this is an M. And by M, I mean this right here is, well, you can't really see that. I mean, this right here is an M, it looks like. So normally after an M, it goes down into a W, and you want to buy, you know, at this point on the W, or if you want to buy and you think it's going to go up and you have good idea, then you want to buy it here to get a little bit more gains. So right here is the cross, or right here is the crossover, and that's really good. And then right here is the bounce, which is another good sign. But so you know, one good sign, one not too good sign on the MACD. But we could get rid of, you know, the MACD, and we could add another indicator, which I like, which is the RSI, and see what the relative strength index looks like. And you know, it's not it's in the middle, basically. It's not all the way down here, which would be like the best time to buy. Obviously, the best time to buy would have been right here, but you wouldn't have known. However, here's something really, really, really good. So I'll show you this. This is cool. This right here, you could see this closed right here, right? This closed right here, okay? And this closed, this is way, way, way down here. That's indicating it's oversold, right? It's oversold, so it's a good time to buy. And this is on the same exact spot. You know, it's on that same purple line. However, look at how much higher it is on this RSI. This is, I believe this is called a divergence. And when this happens, this is a huge indicator that the price is going to keep on going up. And then it'll keep on going up until, you know, hopefully it reaches somewhere in this area. And then you could sell it and it'll go down here. So once the RSI reaches up here, actually, look at this. It lines up pretty close to where I'm thinking. So somewhere around the 24th or 25th. It might be a lot sooner than that. You can't tell. Okay, so this is my total noob BS, probably completely wrong technical analysis on ADA. But remember what I said in the beginning of the video, if you're even watching this far, is that I like to combine TA with FA. So I wouldn't actually even be getting into ADA if it wasn't for some news that was coming out. And the news that's coming out is actually that ADA today is having a roadmap update, as you could see right here. So it's, an update to the roadmap, and there'll be some big announcements that happen that come out. That is what I'm banking on. So basically what happened was I wrote it down, what I bought it at and what I have the stop loss at. And so I bought it at 0.22, which is, right now it's at 2.1. So it's below where I bought it at, and I have my targets set for somewhere around 0.26, and as my target number 1, and I have my target somewhere around 0.36. 0.33 for target number 2. So let's see what happens. I will update you when this trade goes through, and hopefully my first trade in this series will be a good one. Anyway, I know that this was, a butcher fest, but I really want to get good at TA. I want to keep on doing it. I feel like this crypto space, it's not just beginning. I guess you could say it just began in 2016 is when things started getting really, really hot. 2017 is when they blew up. And so it might be 2018 right now. And, a lot of people think that we're not going to have another opportunity. But I feel like if I just continue to stick with this, that I can reach incredible levels of, wealth and financial freedom, and also help people and get incredible knowledge into the crypto space. So this was literally my first video on TA when it comes to me actually doing it. I do have videos on TA on what they mean, but I've just been, like I said before, I've just been doing the fundamental analysis for the most part. And this is actually a switch of how I normally do TA, but this is what I've learned from professional traders, so this is how I'm doing it. Anyway, I'm going to sign off now. I'll update you with this trade later on. If you happen to watch this and you are a professional trader, let me know how bad it was on a scale of 0 to 10, because I would love to know. All right, I'll talk to you later. I'll see you in the next video. Peace out. Bye.